good morning, good life? Or are you questioning that? Like, really, Amy? Good morning. Really? Have you watched the news? Have you seen the world? It's crumbling, it's falling apart, and I have all the feels about it. And also, still have responsibilities and need to live my life. What do I do? I have some thoughts on this because I've always found myself in a very weird spot when I'm talking to you about the ideas that I have for going after the life that you want, where they work for some people in some ways when executed properly, but we can't necessarily also simultaneously ignore the state of the world and how it might be playing a role. That being said, I'm not going to go into specifics about what's happening in the world right now, but I do want to talk about how we can stay focused when it seems like pointless, when it seems as though the world may not even survive. What does it even matter if I do my thing or achieve my goals or be productive? It all seems like too much, and I don't know if I can handle it. I want to show you how I try to keep my head in the game so that we can at least make the most of every moment that we do have, the very privileged and amazing time that we have here in this human experience. That's coming up.
She's an award-winning YouTuber and best-selling author obsessed with helping you go after the life you want.
I like it.
Join her as she seeks out the stories and strategies
Give me every little detail.
of extraordinary people who found success.
I'm going to get emotional. Oh my God.
Welcome to Detail Therapy with Amy Landino.
I don't typically talk about current events. It's not that I don't have thoughts on them. I have so many thoughts. I really do. It's just, I try so hard on my own to have my own personal ideas about things, come to my own conclusions about things. And that can be really, really challenging when you're paying attention to mainstream media and kind of being instructed how to feel about things. And everyone listening to this has an opinion on this right now. I have no doubt. I'm not informing of anything that is unknown by you, no matter what your point of view is, no matter what your political affiliation is, no matter what your religious feelings are, no matter what ways you have been oppressed in your life or your ancestors or what you've witnessed firsthand. We all have opinions on this. And in some ways, I share them. And at those points, it's extremely important to the mission of my company that I do that. And then there are other times where I try to be helpful alongside of what is happening. And this is one of those examples today. So like I said, I'm not talking about anything specific, but inspired by a conversation that I had recently with a member of my coaching group, Amy Landino's Inner Circle, I understood really in one instance why everything happening in the world might be the ultimate distraction from doing your best work. And so I just wanted to kind of share the advice that I gave to them and the way that I try to think about it. Let me start by introducing myself for anyone who is new. Hello, how are you? My name is Amy Landino. I am the host of the Detail Therapy podcast. I'm also the founder of GATLU, which stands for Go After the Life You Want. We create resources for ambitious professionals who are ready to unleash their power, get unstuck, and create the life of their dreams. And hopefully this episode is going to help you to do that as well. Everything we do is at gatlu.com, GATLUW.com, including the show notes for this podcast. And our daily podcast can be found in our premium community, Shine Squad, just 5 minutes every morning to help you start the day on your terms. So I would like to start with a passage from probably one of my top 3 favorite books of all time. You've heard me say it millions of times. And that is Ryan Holiday's daily reader called The Daily Stoic. And this is a passage from July 20th. And it is called Made for Justice. I just want to read parts of it, including the quote from Marcus Aurelius and a little bit of Ryan's commentary about that quote to kind of set the tone here. So starting with from Marcus Aurelius in the book Meditations, he says, "The unjust person acts against the gods. For insofar as the nature of the universe made rational creatures for the sake of each other, with an eye toward mutual benefit based on true value, and never for harm, anyone breaking nature's will obviously acts against the oldest of gods." So here's what Ryan had to say about this. "We say of the most heinous acts that they are crimes against nature. We consider certain things to be an affront against humanity, saying, this violates everything we hold dear. However much we differ in religion, upbringing, politics, class, or gender, we can come together in agreement there. Why? Because our sense of justice goes marrow deep. We don't like it when people cut in line. We don't like freeloaders. We pass laws that protect the defenseless, and we pay our taxes, agreeing in part to redistribute our wealth to those in need. At the same time, if we think we can get away with it, we might try to cheat or bend the rules. To paraphrase Bill Walsh, when left to our own devices, many of us individuals seek lower ground like water. The key then is to support our natural inclination to justice with strong boundaries and strong commitments, to embrace, as Lincoln urged a divided, angry nation to do, the better angels of our nature. The words that jumped out at me from this passage and that I really hope that you'll take home from this episode are strong boundaries and strong commitments. There's probably something happening in the news right now that is making you crazy, that is hurting people. Maybe people that are just like you. Maybe it doesn't affect you yet. Maybe it does affect you yet. I mean, these things are catastrophic and jarring and crushing souls. And it's so sad. Everything that's happening, so sad. And I respect that. And I respect anyone's feelings of sadness. I respect anyone's feelings of anger. We have these feelings for a reason. We were given these feelings to feel. And that is something I have to remind myself of all the time. But the challenge, of course, is if you allow yourself to feel, really embrace and immerse yourself in a feeling, and just be okay with it. How then do you recalibrate? How are you even supposed to? Are you supposed to? How are you supposed to operate at the highest level when you are also being kind to yourself about the feelings that you do have? And it's a question I don't even think I could answer. I really don't have the answer to that. But what I do have a little bit of is a couple ideas in terms of how to be thinking in the way of staying focused and getting refocused when the world is a friggin' hot mess. And so that's what I want to share with you today. Back to this concept of strong boundaries, strong commitments. What I know for sure is no matter what, and I really mean that, and I would be open to your argument to the contrary, but no matter what it is that is crushing your soul at this moment, something that you feel disappointed about, something that you are not in control of, something that is just bumming you out, something that is making you feel like all of this is for nothing, no matter what it is, you not operating at your greatest ability is not helping. It's not. Plain and simple. Whatever happened, whatever is happening, whatever is going on is not helped by you feeling helpless. Now, you can feel helpless, and again, totally within your right to do so. But that doesn't mean that you actually are. Does it really serve the world as we go through a tough time, whether it's economically or there are some issues with our legal system, or we're just seeing corruption happening? Are you really serving in a way that is productive to making those situations better by executing at a lesser version of yourself? One way to think about it is that maybe you feel like your bandwidth toward your thing, your career, your baby, your project, your business, whatever it is that we're thinking about, the thing that you're trying to master, the thing you're doing all of this productivity crap for, like the reason you wake up every day to try to reach goals, if you're not doing that, why is it a better use of your time to worry at a grander scale on all of these other things? Now, maybe it's because I'm worried and I'm going to do something about it. Awesome. Going out and doing something about it is fantastic. Now, I would also argue that, let's say I am going to protest, or I am going to send letters, I am going to call my congressperson, I am going to raise money, I am going to do any number of things. And that is what I'm going to do with my feelings because that matters to me. Wonderful. Again, do that. What I ask you is everything else taken care of? Are your goals no longer important? Is your career no longer important? Do you no longer need to work? I want you to be able to affect it all. You need to put your mask on first before you can help others. And so when you're feeling like you're sucked into the news or you're sucked into some kind of movement and you're having a hard time, self-identified, having a hard time balancing the energy and the feelings that are going into that enraging situation and the energy and feelings that you need that may or may not align or match in your work. What are we going to do about that? And to that I say, you have to put your mask on first. So in the example of, I really want to give my time to this cause because I want to make a difference, but I also have this other thing I have to do. That is okay. You can have both. You can do both. Your ability to make a change so that the world is a better place matters. But part of that happening means that you are an even better version of yourself as you go along. You're not giving everything up in order to do this. What you do additionally is going to help that situation. I want you to be able to feel good about the fact that I'm going to compartmentalize for a couple of hours a day to make sure that I am focused on the task at hand, whether it's reporting to your job and doing it to the best of your ability because you want your career to continue. And then when you're done for the day, switching gears into advocate mode and going after that. Or maybe it's that you have to do business in a very specific way. I'll give you an example. My job is to get on the mic and motivate. My job is to get on camera and inspire. Some of that means smiling when I'm not happy. Sometimes that means a lot of things that I'm not. Feeling fancy free when I'm actually stressed to the end of the earth. It happens. I could decide that I'm just not in the state. I can't do this. I can't make videos. I can't make podcasts. I can't show up on stage and talk to these people. I can't do what I'm being asked to do. I can't do what I'm being hired to do. I could say that. And you know what? Sometimes I do. Sometimes you just need that personal day. Sometimes you just need that mental break. I milked the crap out of my maternity leave. Like, really. I'm not going to lie. I really kind of needed it. Because my kid requires, gosh, a whole lot of attention, you guys. You wouldn't believe it. But, I milked it. I was like, you know what? I'm not ready for YouTube yet. I will be, but I'm not right now. And so maybe I took an extra month that I wasn't originally intending to. And that's what I needed to do. That's what I needed to do to grapple with the world, grapple with the change in my situation, grapple with everything that is on my plate for responsibilities. But I knew that I was not doing the world a service. I was not doing my daughter a service. I was not doing the tragic state of the situation that is the world a service. I wasn't doing my team a service if I gave up. So this was an important topic for me to share with you today because I imagine you continue to get up, maybe even have a hard time getting out of bed because you see social media, you see the news, you see that things are just still crap. And you're like, what's the point? But there really is a point. There's such a big point. And everything is a season. And this is a season of your life. And you are still living a life, the only one you get. And we can't let that go by. We can't. It's not fair. So I want you to remember strong boundaries, strong commitments. Be committed to the vision that you have for yourself. Be committed to your career path or your goals. Be committed to that vision. And also be committed to standing up to wrongdoing. Be committed to leaving the world a better place. Be committed to that legacy. In order to have those strong commitments, you need strong boundaries. It means you get to feel all the feels. It means you get to show up where you feel deep purpose, the fire in your belly. And hopefully that's in multiple places than just what's sad in the world. Regardless, between all of the things, the good, the bad, the ugly, the world, your life, everything, you have to have strong boundaries. When is it okay to watch the news? When is it okay to spend time on something that isn't paying your bills? When is it appropriate to focus on making that money so that you can deal with the inflation or the change in the economy, whatever it is? We have to have strong boundaries. It doesn't mean we don't have strong feelings. It just means we have strong boundaries. And you can have both. That is your choice. It is your choice to make. You do not need to be a perfect Stoic, but the Stoics do have some pretty good advice when it comes to how you try to strike a balance. And I just want you to stay focused when it's appropriate. And then give yourself the gift of letting go. Let go of the focus. Take a break. Be that person that just needs to vent and scream and throw a tantrum, not because you're a perfect adult, but because it's just how you feel right now. Who cares? It's fine. But we got to get back. We got to get centered again. Even if just for those few hours it takes to get the podcast done, to get the paper written, to get the presentation ready, to get your book done, to get the job that you want, to get promoted, to start the business, to get a new client for your side hustle, whatever it is. Boundaries so that you can have commitments. That's really all I wanted to share with you today. There's so many reasons why this episode could feel just as infuriating as it feels like permission. And I understand that. I can't make everyone happy all the time with how we deal with the state of the world. I would never presume to think I have the answers to that. I don't. I absolutely don't. The truth of the matter is, I also feel real sad when I watch the news. And I also feel that if I ignore it completely, that I am living in a vacuum, and that's not fair either, because real people are dealing with real problems. Some of them a lot like me, some of them nothing like me. Still very important. But if we don't do our best work, we are not making the world a better place, period. I just want to, before I leave you, remind you that if you are interested in continuing to hang out together, the videos on YouTube are back, and I'm really sharing a different side of myself as an advisor to you in your Monday Mastery moment. And productivity is something that we're focused on in these next couple of weeks. We launched our first episode back from my maternity leave last week, and of course back again this week. I hope you'll head over to youtube.com/AmyTV to check those out. And just remember that being productive all the time is not the goal. Striking the balance on what productivity looks like for you in your way of life and the season that you're in is all we're aiming for. And it's not about being perfect. It's just about the boundaries, and it's just about honoring those commitments. So hopefully these episodes will be helpful for you, especially with all of the insanity that we are grappling with today. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. I'll see you back here on the next one. Cheers.